Now, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you must know that I'm John Carpenter. My name is on flyers. But I'm a nationally known film historian. I have been studying, collecting, and preserving film pretty much my entire life. And the reason why I've been doing these film shows, because I really feel it's my purpose to keep these films alive and available. The creativity, the work that went into the films of these eras, the sound eras of this period, are so monumentally intense and serious that my purpose is to let you see them, let you learn from them, and let you appreciate what was. Now, there's always a film to me is like a human being. It has a beginning, a middle, an end. It's a true living person. Now, this film is pure embodiment of that because it is interesting information behind the camera and in front of the camera. And with this film, you're going to be seeing art, technology, when it was first being made and first created in a German expressionistic sense, of course. But this is the film that inspired Bob Kane to create the Batman comic strip and the Batman character, as well as the entire dark noir characterizations and period of Gotham City and the villains inhabiting Gotham City. Now, the camera work on this film is astounding. The film is 1930. It's an early talking film. Now, the director of the film, who I will go into in a moment, originally made this film, The Bat, in 1926. There's a silent version. But now this is The Bat Whispers. Why is it titled The Bat Whispers? People in the audiences were so tired of silent film, they so craved sound film, that the title had to be the embodiment to let the people know this was going to be a talkie. So The Bat Whispers. And this film proves, like I've always been telling all of my audiences, that the true star of a motion picture is not the actors. They're really just puppets. But the true star of these films is the director. Now, the director of this film is a rather interesting situation case. His name is Roland West, who made the original The Bat from 1926. Roland West was a short, kind of a hunchback, sort of a genius of a director, as you'll see here. Because for an early talkie, he went past the static early talkie cameras that were bolted to the ground and set fast, with heavy-duty dialogue sections being the case of being. But this film was made by a man who was having an adulterous love affair with Thelma Todd. Are you familiar with the name Thelma Todd? Thelma Todd was a comedian, but an absolute blonde, bombshell, gorgeous actress. Great comedian. She appeared in Laurel and Hardy films, Charlie Chase films, and also other films of the period. But she could go from comedy, high comedy slapstick, to drama. And she was a very, very sexually looking hot woman. But he was having an adulterous affair with her. Now, due to that, Thelma Todd was murdered later on. Thelma Todd was having an affair with a few people, one of which was a gangster, one of which was the movie director Roland West. But Roland West, of this crime that was never really found out who was the murderer, he was one of the people who was always thought possibly could have murdered her because he was having an affair with her. And he was trying to get her out of comedy, but she really wasn't going along with that. Anyhow, this is The Bat Whispers. Now, Chester Morris, who later on played Boston Blackie, you may remember, he is the star of this film. In fact, Chester used to like to be called Chet. He didn't like the name Chester. But this film is very, very visually just astounding because it uses miniatures, it uses film noir, chiaroscuro, as they call it in a more classier term of film noir. But it's dark, the camera moves, which is all different than the silent films of the sound films that just came from silent at that time. This is 1930, 1 year after sound really became the thing that was accepted. But the camera's all over the place, there's screaming, there's yelling, there's fear. The camera is used to really intensify all of the emotions that the director is trying to get and milk out of you, the audience. But miniature, I mean, everything that was not used in a talking film of that early period is used in this film. So you're gonna really love it, and there you are. So enjoy, and I thank you so much for coming. August 1st, we're going back to comedy, and I'm bringing in a Three Stooges short, as well as a Bowery Boys comedy. And the comedy is a parody on the genre of film noir. So the detective, murdering, criminal film noir is all being parodied by the Bowery Boys in Hard Boiled Mahoney. So there you are. This is The Bat, 1930, and I'm sure you're going to love it. Thank you so much for coming.